not to judge it, but to understand it. Because your feelings are not enemies, they're messengers. They don't want to destroy your life. They want to redirect it back to truth, back to wholeness, back to you. So breathe. Be brave. Feel what's really there. It's not too much for you, and it won't last forever. This is the sacred work, and you're doing it. Everyone heals differently. Some people need silence. Some need to talk it through. Some need to create. Others need to rest. There is no single blueprint for becoming whole. So stop apologizing for needing time, for pulling back, for taking longer than others think you should. You are not weak because you're still healing. You're not behind because you need boundaries. Healing is not linear. It loops. It spirals. It revisits old wounds at new depths. And sometimes the best thing you can do is honor where you are instead of rushing where you're not. Your healing doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to be real. So take the nap. Say no. Cry. Walk. Disconnect. Reach out. Whatever it is, do what your soul needs, not what makes sense to others. You don't need permission, just presence. Segment 8. You don't have to be okay to be worthy. There is a lie the world whispers, that worthiness is earned through doing, achieving, excelling. But here's the truth. You are worthy on your worst days, in your darkest hour, in your most unproductive, unseen, undone state. Because worth was never about what you do. It's about who you are. Your tears don't cancel it. Your doubts don't dim it. Your silence doesn't disqualify it. You were born with worth. And nothing, not trauma, not failure, not heartbreak or delay, can strip it away. Let that settle. Let it rewire something. Let it confront every voice that ever made you feel like you had to earn love. You are not a project. You are a person. And people are worthy, even when they're not okay. Especially then. So be gentle. Be messy. Be undone. You still belong here, just as you are. Let's clear something up. You're not lazy. You're exhausted. Not because you've done nothing, but because you've been carrying too much for too long, without rest, without recognition, without relief. You've been in survival mode, running on adrenaline, making miracles out of scraps, pretending it's all fine. And now? Now your body is waving the white flag. Now your mind is begging for pause. Now your soul is whispering, I need something different. This fatigue isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's your system telling you you can't keep doing life at the pace of your pain. You're not meant to grind endlessly. You're meant to live, to breathe, to heal, to be. So stop calling it laziness. Call it what it is: a sacred interruption, a plea for softness, a nudge toward another way. And maybe that way starts with laying down what was never yours to carry. It feels like you've drifted from your goals, from your rhythm, from yourself. But maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're recalibrating. Realignment often looks like confusion before it feels like clarity. It looks like restlessness before it feels like revelation. Sometimes the road forward requires you to pull over, to question everything, to feel all the feelings, to wait. And that waiting, it's not wasted. It's where your next truth is born. You are not aimless. You are attentive. You are not broken. You are brave enough to pause and pivot. This is not the end of your story. This is the part where you stop forcing and start listening. Because underneath the noise, beneath the pressure, there is a still, steady voice inviting you home to yourself. You're not lost. You're realigning. And that's a sacred thing. Somewhere along the line, you were taught that rest must be earned, that you have to hustle, bleed, collapse before you're allowed to pause. But that's not truth. That's trauma disguised as productivity. Rest is not a reward. It's a right. It's not an indulgence. It's an act of survival, of resistance, of restoration. Your body is not a machine. Your mind is not a to-do list. Your soul is not a project. You don't have to wait until everything is done to breathe, to nap, to be still. The world may keep spinning, but you're allowed to stop, not because you finished everything, but because you matter. So next time guilt creeps in, when you sit down, lie down, or say, "Not today," remind yourself, rest is part of the work. It's how you come back to yourself. It's how you stay yourself. And that is holy. You've been taught to prove, to perform, to be valuable through output, appearance, perfection. But worth? It's not something you earn. It's something you already have. You are worthy of peace before you accomplish a single thing, before the inbox is cleared, before the bills are paid, before the smile is rehearsed. Let that sink in. You don't need to show up perfect to be seen. You don't need to have it all together to be loved. Peace is not the prize at the end. It's a path, It's a practice. It's something you get to choose, even in the mess. You can step out of the proving. You can lay down the pressure. You can exist without performance and still be enough. Today, let that be your quiet revolution. To rest, to be, to choose peace with no performance attached. Healing is not a straight line. It's not a checklist. It doesn't follow the rules. Your inner critic keeps whispering to you. You're allowed to revisit old wounds. You're allowed to feel okay one day and unravel the next. That's not regression. That's reality. Healing happens in layers, in spirals, in tiny unnoticed shifts beneath the surface. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is notice the pattern without judgment. I'm spiraling right now, but I've been here before, and I made it through. You're not back at the beginning. You're standing on ground your younger self paved through sweat, silence, and survival. So stop measuring your healing by how quickly the pain disappears. Start noticing how quickly you return to yourself. That's progress. That's strength. That's healing. You don't have to choose between sorrow and strength, between grief and gratitude, between heartbreak and forward motion. You can hold both. That's what makes you human. Let go of the lie that healing requires emotional purity, that you must feel one thing at a time, that joy cancels out the pain, or vice versa. Some days, you'll laugh with a lump in your throat. Other days, you'll cry while still believing things will get better. That's not confusion. That's capacity. That's wholeness. Sadness isn't failure. Hope isn't denial. They're roommates in the same heart, learning to breathe together. So if you feel heavy today, but still reach for something gentle, you're doing beautifully. You're not broken. You're becoming. What if you didn't try to fix the feeling? What if you let it ride in the passenger seat without letting it take the wheel? You've been taught that emotions need to be solved, eliminated, dissected. But feelings aren't problems. They're signals. They're messengers. They're waves. And you don't have to conquer a wave. You just have to ride it. You can go to work with sadness. You can cook dinner with grief. You can take a walk with anger beside you. You're allowed to feel and function. You're allowed to cry and continue. You're allowed to not be okay and still do what matters. This isn't emotional bypassing. It's emotional coexistence. Some days the heaviness doesn't lift, but you still rise. You still show up. And that's resilience. That's the deepest kind of strength. Self-care doesn't have to be a spa day, or a 3-hour routine, or a week off in the mountains. Self-care can be brushing your teeth, even when you feel numb. Drinking a full glass of water when your appetite is gone. Replying to one text, even if the others have to wait. Self-care is not about performance. It's about compassion. It's the moment you tell yourself, I matter enough to take one small step. Some days, self-care looks like setting boundaries. Other days, it's letting yourself cry, without apology. It's not always Instagram-worthy. It won't always be noticed, but you will feel it in your nervous system, in the quiet parts of you that are desperate to be heard. Today, let your care be small and still be enough. You don't have to fully believe in yourself today. You really don't. There are days when self-trust feels too far away, when your confidence is low, when your past echoes louder than your hope. But you don't have to fake it. You don't have to force a confidence you don't feel. Instead, borrow belief from the process, from the people who've walked this path, from the truth that healing doesn't require perfection, only participation. Every breath you take with intention counts. Every pause before reacting counts. Every boundary, every journal entry, every moment of stillness is a vote for your healing. You don't have to believe in your worth every second, but let your choices reflect it anyway. Let your life be louder than your doubt. Even if your inner voice trembles, keep showing up. You're not failing. You're forming. It's tempting to think you've ruined it. That because you backslid, or broke a promise to yourself, or had one bad day, it's over. But you're not starting over. You're starting again. There's a difference. Starting over implies failure. Starting again means resilience. You're not back at zero. You're not erasing progress. You're continuing the journey with new information, with deeper insight, with a scar that proves you healed once already. This isn't a reset. It's a re-entry. You've been here before, but you're coming back, wiser, stronger, more aware. So hold your head high, not because you've never stumbled, but because you keep getting up. Let your next step be gentler. Let your comeback be quiet. You don't have to announce your return. Just begin again. You've left yourself behind too many times. For love, for peace, for appearances. But the cost has been high. Because every time you disappear to keep others comfortable, you lose a little more of what makes you you. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to betray your own needs to belong. There is no version of healing that requires self-erasure. No version of love that demands you shrink. So today, stay. Stay with yourself. When the pressure rises, stay when the old urge to people please tries to hijack your body. Stay when your nervous system screams, disappear to be safe. You're safe here, with you. Every time you resist the abandonment reflex, you write a new story. You show yourself that presence is protection. You are not too much. You are not wrong for needing space, for having limits, for wanting peace that doesn't come at your expense. Stay. It's the bravest thing you'll do all day. You keep searching for stability in outcomes, in plans, in certainty. But true stability isn't in the calendar. It's in the body, in the breath, in the moments you tell yourself, I can be here and still be okay. That doesn't mean calm is constant. It means safety is cultivated. It means you're learning how to regulate, not just react. It means grounding your worth, not in how productive you are, but in how present you're willing to become. Stability is a feeling, not a fact, and it starts in the stillness. You make space for inside you. So today, when the world feels shaky, don't reach for control. Reach for care, for rhythm, for breath. Your nervous system isn't broken. It's learning. You're not unstable. You're adapting. If today's stillness helped you return to yourself, the next step is learning how to think clearly from that place. At 1 p.m., Dr. Carl Everett will be with you. He won't flood you with noise. He'll offer structure, sanity, perspective. The kind that cuts through the fog without judgment. Dr. Carl's voice is steady, the kind you can lean on when your thoughts feel tangled and your mind is running loops. Let him help you sort what's yours to carry and what was never meant to be in your hands. You've done enough emotional heavy lifting for now. Let clarity do the work for a while. He's here to guide you, just one breath away. You've been performing strength for so long, you almost forgot what it feels like to simply be. Strong at work. Strong at home. Strong when you're crumbling inside. But strength isn't a constant. It's not a mask you wear to make others comfortable. It's not the ability to endure endlessly. Real strength includes softness. It includes tears. It includes honesty. It includes admitting, I'm not okay. You don't need to earn your worth through resilience. You don't need to carry everyone else to be valuable. Sometimes strength is in the pause, in the moment you let yourself rest, in the courage it takes to stop pretending. You are not a superhero. You are a human being, worthy even when you're tired. So drop the armor. You don't need it here. This is a space for softness, for truth, for you. You've been weighed by the world scale, titles, salaries, likes, validation. And every time you don't measure up, you question your value. But your worth isn't up for debate. It's not determined by output. It's not awarded by applause. It is inherent, unshakable, undeniable. The world didn't give it, so the world can't take it. You are not what you produce. You are not what you perform. You are not a number. You are a soul, a whole one, deserving of care, peace, and belonging, with or without the metrics. Let that truth undo the lies. Let it uproot the noise. Let it guide you back to yourself. Midday can feel like a storm's eye, deadlines looming, energy fading, emotions stirring beneath your to-do list. You feel the push to keep going, to be productive, to ignore the ache behind your eyes and the pressure in your chest. But healing doesn't obey a schedule, and peace doesn't wait until everything is done. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is pause, not quit, just pause. To take one full breath without rushing, to say to your nervous system, you're not in danger. This is self-regulation, not laziness, not procrastination. It's the art of meeting your moment without abandoning yourself inside of it. Let your body land. Let your mind unclench. Let your shoulders remember they are not shields. You don't owe the world your constant productivity. You owe yourself presence. So take this minute. Make it sacred. Let the rest wait. You'll return clearer, softer, stronger. You've walked through storms, messy ones, seasons that made you question your worth because of how broken everything looked. And maybe some part of you started to believe you were the mess, that your identity was tangled in the dysfunction, in the trauma, in the reaction. But listen to me. You are not your chaos. You are the clarity that made it out. You are the witness who watched the house fall and said, I will build again. You carry survival, not shame. You hold memory, not definition. That version of you, who was scared, reactive, desperate, they were trying to cope, trying to breathe through unbearable conditions. You don't need to apologize for how you survived. You just get to grow now. And growing doesn't mean perfection. It means compassion. Hold space for all you've been and make room for all you're becoming. Because the chaos was real, but so is your healing. You've been minimizing your pain, telling yourself it's not that bad, that others have it worse, that you're just overthinking. That's not humility. That's self-abandonment. You deserve your own validation, your own belief, your own compassion. The hurt you carry, it counts. It's not exaggerated. It's not imaginary. It's not weakness. It's real. And it deserves a name. When you dismiss your pain, you delay your healing. When you tell yourself it's fine, while bleeding internally, you stay stuck in survival. There's strength in facing the truth of what hurt you. There's courage in saying, that shouldn't have happened to me. This is how healing begins, with honesty, not performance, not perfection. Be gentle with yourself, but be real, because you can't love a version of you refuse to see. You've been carrying something under layers of distraction. You smile, you work, you keep going, but underneath, grief, resentment, loneliness, confusion. It's okay. We all do it. We all pretend sometimes, just to get through the day. But pretending has a cost. And you feel it. In your chest. In your gut. In your sleep. You don't have to unpack it all at once. But you do have to stop